We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello, and welcome to our first session, or issue, I should say, of Icons Academy. The first portion of our third season of playing Icons. Last week, or last session, we had our session 0, where we created our characters. We'll go around each of our players as I introduce them and let them tell us just a quick blurb about their character. You don't have to go into the whole, storied and heart-wrenching backgrounds. Just, the brief. So we've got Curtis back with us this season, playing Putty. All right. We also have Mike playing Blessed Thorn. Uh-oh, what's... All right, hang on a second. Wait, it may be on my side. Okay. Yeah, my OBS here. I'm seeing me when I talk, but when y'all talk, the desktop audio ain't doing nothing. Hang on, let me. More than likely, my settings have. Let's see, desktop audio. Nope, it's the wireless headset. The only thing plugged in, and turned on when I started the program. All right. Somebody give me a sound check.
Testing.
All right. I'm seeing movement on my audio mixer now.
He was caught on the.
All right.
Yeah, heard him on the Twitch.
We will start back over with Curtis then, and then I will edit this section out when I do the post later. All right. So Curtis, you're playing Putty. Tell us about Putty.
Yes, Putty is Coda Gray. He's a 14-year-old Mexican Indian boy, and the sole survivor of an attack by Professor Putty from the first season of Icons. Unless we retcon it because I don't know much about Professor Putty, he's unaware that he was actually a victim. He thinks Professor Putty saved him because he's kind of weirded out with some body horror issues from his powers. His parents, with the aid of Professor Putty, have enrolled him in the new academy.
All right. And we've got Mike playing Blessed Thorn.
Mm-hmm. My character's birth name is Bandali Ocean. She grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, and she's also the incarnation of a Yoruba nature spirit. And as such, she's got the powers of plant mimicry, plant control, and telekinesis. And she's also, at least for now, permanently surrounded by like a wreath of thorns that she can't withdraw, at least not yet. Anyway, she was one of the she fought locally in the recent Harbinger invasion, and now her parents have traveled across the Atlantic to enroll their daughter in the academy as well.
All right.
And yeah, that's me.
And we've got Taylor playing Rigajig.
Yes, Rigajig. Grandson of a Germanic sailor, son of a German-American truck driver, a blackmailer of his father to allow him to enter this school. He discovered something to blackmail his father with. Immediately did it to allow himself more freedom. Go out at night, do what he wants. Was kidnapped during the Starforger incidents from Season 2. And from there began his love of metalworking, because he saw the strange stuff the Starforgers were making.
And then we have Zach playing, excuse me if I muddled his name, I know I asked you earlier. Lucina?
Lacuna.
Lacuna Lane.
Matata.
I was thinking that too.
That's the only way I'm going to remember it.
All right, Zach, tell us a little bit about Lacuna.
Lacuna is the sole survivor of her family after they were slaughtered by a hideous vampire in the Florida Everglades. In their home in the Florida Everglades. The survivor is a bit of a stretch. He has been cursed with undeath and now struggles against an overpowering hunger for blood. He came to the academy after working with several doctors to better understand and control her condition, and she seeks to find a way to undo her curse among the various super people gathered here.
Alrighty. So each of y'all have at some point spoken, at least briefly, with the principal of the academy, a Tim Rowland. Older fella, uses a cane.
I'm sorry, was that Tim Merlin as in the wizard?
Tim Rowland.
Roland, okay. As in the old king.
Well, one of Charlemagne's paladins.
That's what I meant.
Oh, can I do a brief non sequitur?
Sure.
Network only has one E. I just looked at our title card.
Oh. You know, I just redid that title card yesterday, and yep, I have totally mistyped. Let's see.
Anywhere. I didn't catch it when I saw it.
We'll switch over
Yeah,
to
I missed
that
that too.
Well,
But I'm the last person in the world to judge anyone on their typos or spelling errors.
In my defense, I'd done it once, then accidentally shut down GIMP without saving it. So
I was never a spelling bee champion.
So anyway, like I said, you've all spoken to the principal. You've seen pictures of the campus. But today is the first day of school, the first kind of an orientation day. You know, you're not like you're really going to be doing full classes today. But
Are we the first class?
yes, the school is just opening this year. So they've got people in a variety of grades, but nobody has been to this school like the previous year.
Right.
And y'all are the freshman class. There are a handful of younger students. They're not doing like a full elementary, but there's a handful of younger students that are being kind of individually tutored. Some of them have already been actively using the power, so in that regard, they may even be more advanced than you, but have to catch up on schoolwork, sort of thing. So yeah, there's hustle and bustle, and as we go on, y'all can all decide which ones of you are living on campus, because there is a dormitory set up, and which ones of you are living in the surrounding area. Schools based in and around New York. So I know, like, Blessed Thorn's background has specifically said that her and her family were staying, with like a host family that they knew through their church. So I assume she's living off campus.
That's right.
Family lives in New Mexico, so he's on campus.
What about Rigajig?
Rickajig is 100% on campus.
Is he from New Orleans? Not New Orleans, Louisiana? Or did he get picked up by the Star Forge or somewhere else?
He got picked up somewhere else.
Okay.
The whole moving far away to a private academy thing made the siblings that know about him jealous, but Dad's real happy that he's advancing himself elsewhere.
And then Lacuna, yeah, it's pretty obviously, I won't say living on campus, but staying on campus.
Thank you for the sensitivity regarding my condition. I promise that is not the tact I'm going to take with the character. Oh my God.
Was it going to judge much? But anyway, they've got all the students assembled in the auditorium. There's a big mess, big old mess of students. There's at least, I guess, 25 or so. Somewhere between 20 and 30 students that you're pretty sure in your grade. Which, is not huge if you go look at like a public school classroom, but it's actually quite a gathering of power people. You're not the only class here, but everybody's sorted out by grades. As y'all take your seat, you see Principal Roland up on the stage. He's not at the podium yet, but he's talking to some other people sitting up there. One woman is in full costume. You assume that's Vice Principal Rook. There's an old guy that looks like he just walked out of a science lab. He's still got the whole lab coat on. He looks a little older than the principal, but not as old as the woman in a wheelchair they're talking to. She looks like she's 100 if she's a day.
Which means that, if she looks like she's 100 to us, she's probably 40.
Well, in that case, everybody on stage looks like they're 100. So this woman may look like she's 1,000. Let's see, who else would y'all reckon? Who might y'all recognize?
Independence Ray?
Yeah, actually, Independence Ray, Wolf Witch, and Land Shark are all in the room.
Oh, would Everlast be there too?
I don't know.
I'm absolutely down for Wolf Witch dragging her along as a TA.
In that case, yeah, she's up there next to Wolf Witch. You have a bunch of the staff sitting up on the stage. As well as like some unrecognized, probably normal people teachers. A lot of them come by and speaking to the old lady and shaking her hand or holding her hand. Eventually, as everybody's getting good and seated, and quietening down a little bit, Roland steps up to the podium, taps on the mic, get everybody's attention. Good morning. As the Academy's principal, it is my honor and privilege to officially welcome you to the school's hallowed halls. I'm glad to see so many young, excited faces joining the school. You will be the start of a hopefully long and proud tradition of excellence. The coming years that you spend with us will be challenging, but they will also be rewarding. How rewarding will depend on you. Events of the past few years have shown that the world needs heroes more now than ever. The Earth has come to the attention of other worlds, and we've been invaded by these worlds. Some of them parallel to us, some of them from the depths of space. We have won the day each time, but not without loss. Each loss a friend and hero. I'm sure you all know about the loss of the Primus and the terrible injuries suffered by Dynaman. Each of you will be taught to be the best possible you, the best hero. Make no mistake, though, this life is not all fun and excitement. Oh, there will be plenty of that, but also loss and pain. The staff here contains many experienced heroes, as well as experts in many fields. Each will be doing their best to prepare you for what you will face if you choose the hero's path. But all of you, whether future heroes or not, will have a responsibility to better the world. As the Academy's motto says, only the children of today can save the world of tomorrow. He then takes time to introduce some of the people back behind him. Wolf Witch, Independence Ray, the Rook, Land Shark, the fellow in the lab coat he introduces as Dr. Daniel Weiss, which is a name, if some of you are into like superhero history, which really up in the air with high school kids, you might recognize it. You see some kids in the crowd, you kind of react like, oh, that's who that is. Okay. He introduces the regular staff too, but most of those names, if you wind up in their class, you'll remember them. But other than that, goldfish attention spans and all. Then he introduces the woman in the wheelchair, which I should have had her name pulled up because she's a specific person. Joan, I remember that. He introduces Joan Farewell, who has financed the construction of the school. Really, the entire the entire ideal of the school was really kind of her thing. And she's put much of her fortune into getting it set up, making sure all the facilities were top tier, getting in the best talent. And he comments that the academy is in fact named after her fiance that went off into the Second World War and didn't return.
That doesn't bode well for the students.
It's a good lesson for the students. Heroing is important, but not everybody comes back. He goes on to explain, that the average school day will have a lot of your typical sort of classes, You will be, there will be English classes, there will be math classes, there will be a drama club. But then, there will also be classes teaching you the basics of how to deal with magic. He sort of gestures to Wolf Witch. Introductions to super science. He gestures over to Dr. Weiss. As well as tactics and, kind of sort of gestures to the Rook and Independence Ray. As well as typical sports activities that'll be covered with Coach Bruce. But he said today's going to be something a little different. You'll be given a little time to explore. Just explore the campus, kind of learn where everything is. There is a surface level to the campus that looks like just a small private school, and then there are underground facilities for what we're really here to do. Now, the general public knows that the academy is opening. They don't know what we actually are. Many of you have already chosen alternate identities, alternate ways to identify yourself. Any of those you register with the school will be used. If we suggest that you keep your real identity secret, or at least, only share your first name. At least until you've been here a few years and kind of have an idea of who you can trust. It's not required. It's up to you. But just what we suggest. Before we do that, however, we are going to divide you into teams, and you will be. These will be the teams that you will go with through this year. There will be several times that you will be tested individually, and many times that you'll be tested as a team. So the first activity as a team we'll be doing today, we'll be sending you through an obstacle course. This is really just a quick sort of assessment of how good you are at working in a team currently, as well as, what sort of experience you have with your powers, how you handle yourself, etc., etc. So we'll take just a minute. He gestures, and a couple of the teachers get up and kind of move on. As each teacher calls your name, please travel over to them. And they start going through, big long list. Everybody starts dividing out. Each of you have your names called. All four of you are called by the same teacher. Unless you just happen to have bumped into each other coming into the assembly, this will be the first time you've really met each other. So just quickly, Putty, what do you look like?
He's kind of he's Mexican Indian, short hair, kind of buff because he is, for a 14-year-old, because he does have the strength of 7. So he looks like your average athletic kid.
All right, Blessed Thorn.
She looks very slight, thin, maybe a little younger than her years of 13. She looks like she might be just on the cusp of puberty, for example. She's surrounded by a thicket of thorns, much more so than the image that I picked for her is. And let's see. No, I decided she doesn't have green skin yet. So that's basically what she looks like. And you can kind of tell that she's probably got some kind of standard, I don't know, everyday wear. Probably cheap clothing because she goes through it so quickly. Mm-hmm. So she's not bound to be wearing any kind of expensive fashion. That's basically what she looks like.
Now, when you say a thicket of thorns, is it like vines full of thorns growing out of her, or just the thorns themselves grow out of her?
I think vines with thorns. Yeah, she doesn't look like a porcupine. It'll be more like a thicket.
It's like she's wearing a cheap bush costume.
Yes, not cheap though, because it's pretty extensive. To the point where you wouldn't be able to touch her without taking damage. So the thorns would probably be at least like a full inch thick, or 4 inch long, if not longer.
Okay. Rigajig.
Rigajig, blonde hair, brown eyes. A little hefty, but it looks like a majority of that is tucked away metal, as there is exposed metal forming, small parts over his hand like gloves, and you can see some coming out of his pants.
It's like he's wearing clothes over some sort of metallic outfit.
Yeah, he clearly looks big only because he's wearing big clothes to cover something else that's under it.
And Zach, how is Lacuna dressed?
She's wearing a big poofy sun hat, long sleeve white shirt, slacks, pair of sneakers. Pretty plain.
Other than the hat, pretty standard clothing.
Yeah. And she's very clearly wearing makeup. Nothing fancy, just something to try and give her color.
Mm-hmm.
And is she deliberately? Doesn't seem like she's deliberately dressing to cover her entire body.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also trying her best to stay as far from Thorn as she can because being around her makes her feel kind of queasy, and he doesn't know why, and he doesn't.
Interesting.
Rigajig will pull a can of Monster out from under his sleeve, crack it, take a sip, go. All right, 2 boys, 2 girls. I like the spread. Continues to sip his Monster.
I'll make a face at that comment.
I have 2 brothers and a sister. I had to sleep in a room with 2 dudes. 2 dudes is a bit too much. They smell bad. Takes another sip from his Monster.
That stuff will like give you a heart attack, right?
By the time it affects me, I'll have made a fake one.
The teacher that's standing there is just looking on with amusement. She tells you her name is Miss Fowler.
What was her name? I'm sorry.
Miss Fowler.
Oh, okay.
Like the bird or the basketball?
She tells you like the bird, but no, I am not secretly a bird motif hero. She tells you she's one of the mundane teachers.
Oh, she's a muggle.
I can change that if you'd like.
Oh boy.
She's like, no, that's okay. Well, you just please introduce yourselves to each other. Remember what Principal Roland said. You don't have to give you like your full names, but either the name you're going by or your first name if you want.
Siegfried sits there. You called us all by name to pull us here. So using our names is kind of a moot point. We already know them. Takes another sip for his Monster.
I was thinking of the meme where you got the little bird. Let's hear you little shit. She just looks at you like, like she's been reading, like she was reading off of her clipboard. And she just kind of looks at you. And the name they called you by was either your first name or the name you're going by. So like, Rigajig, she probably called you Rigajig. You probably already put that down. So really, Lacuna is the only one that might have been called by their actual name.
Yeah.
And it would have just been Lacuna.
Way to retroactively slap me down.
But she's like, everybody's got you were talking about the living arrangement. She's like, everybody's got an individual dorm. Or I should say, she said that it's like a series of suites, sort of. Each of you have as a small individual bedroom, and then there's a communal area that 4 of those rooms connect to. there is a boy, there is a boys' dorm and a girls' dorm, so the teams will not all be dorming together necessarily.
Rigajig looks defeated.
Oh, that's right.
Gives a sad little sigh.
The individual dorms have their, kind of a half bath. The shower arrangements, much like a gym, much like gymnasiums, you have a large shower everybody would go to. But anyway, she goes through all that mundane stuff. Let y'all talk amongst yourselves a little bit. Is there anything your characters would specifically want to bring up to the other people that they're just meeting?
Do any of you have a bleeding condition? Like hemophilia? Anything like that?
Definitely not.
I don't, but if I fall unconscious, please flip me on my back so my equipment does not slowly crush me.
And I just shake my head no.
Okay, good. Gonna be a problem then.
Do you have hemophilia?
I mean, an esoteric form of it.
I'll just kind of, sulk. It's like, I don't even bleed.
Oh, cool. We should be good friends. And she just sort of hooks a pinky under her upper lip, and just pulls it up to show off one of her fangs. And
Oh.
I'm just picturing Putty there.
I'm gonna be shocked at first, but then it's like, oh, cool.
Wait, are you? I'm just going to. I think Bandily is bound to have she was bound to have received a gift crucifix from her host family.
Mm-hmm.
So, it without from Lacuna's back, without her being able to see me, I'm gonna pull it out to see if there's a reaction.
So
she's
you
gonna
just
kind of make a face and just sort of her body tightens up a little bit.
So I'm going to note Lacuna's fangs and what's your character's name, Mike?
My everyday name is Bandily.
Or your character, your street name?
Yeah, but my super name is Blessed Thorn.
Blessed Thorn, that's right.
Or the Yoruba equivalent of that. That's the English translation.
So I'll note, Lacuna's fangs, Blessed Thorns, and I'll look at Rigajig and say, you were so gonna score.
Is that ironic or earnest?
Miss Fowler's like, believe it's enough of that.
Yeah. As soon as I see Lacuna react, I just put the cross away, or the crucifix away, and just know for yourself. Yep, she's a vampire, right?
Rigajig will go, whoa. No need for that kind of talk in a team until our senior year.
No.
That way it's legal. He looks at Fowler.
She's rubbing her forehead about like I am. And you wonder briefly, I wonder how long Miss Fowler's been a teacher.
Even if it wasn't for everything else going on in my life right now, I genuinely hope I have better standards than that. No offense.
None taken. My father's a two-timer.
Oh, that sucks.
I got here off of it.
Yeah, cool.
Don't know when I'm gonna tell Mom though.
See how far you can drag this one out.
Miss Fowler standing there. There's I don't know if they're here yet, but there's a school counselor you can talk to if you need like advice for that sort of thing.
Well, I'm just waiting until Mom's art career takes off, where she can afford the family on her own. Then once I know she can handle it without his money, all bets are off. I just don't want Mom to suffer.
Oh well, that's very nice of you. Fowler's looking increasingly uncomfortable with this whole conversation. Well, anyway, we should probably make our way to the gymnasium. But rather than ushering you outside, you notice a lot of the teachers are taking their teams further into the building, or over to one side of the building, I should say. And when you get over there, there is a bank of elevators. That, more or less one team at a time, because, all the teams seem to be 4 people, and their teacher. They get on the elevator and go down. You do notice one team that only seems to be 3 people and a teacher. But basically, you're taking underground. Beg pardon?
They have an invisible one who's also a nudist. Be careful.
So they take you all underground. Though walking through the halls down here, you wouldn't necessarily realize that you were underground. The walls look, like a typical school. It's just if you glance into any of the side rooms, there's no windows. But it eventually goes and opens to a large gymnasium area. It's the size of about 4 basketball courts if you set them all up next to each other. With room around the sides for like some bleachers. There's a raised track that runs along the top of it. And there are several of these, like, obviously the obstacles you have to go through. Principal Roland tells you, each team will be hitting these in different orders just so we can keep the maximum amount of people going. Some of them you'll be doing all at the same time. Some of them are kind of relay setups. Everyone will be timed. Let's see. He tells you, whoever has the, whatever team has the worst time will have my personal attention for the rest of the year. You're not sure if there's supposed to be an implied threat in there or not, but he tells you the team with the highest score gets a detention credit. Basically, one day's free pass to forget your gym uniform. Rules are pretty simple. You can't interfere with the other teams. This is not a PvP. You cannot carry a teammate through an obstacle, though you can push, pull, or drag. No flying, no lethal powers. If your team destroys an obstacle, you get charged an extra minute for it, and the other teams don't have to do it.
What if you rebuild it after destroying it?
If you destroy an obstacle, you get an extra minute, and the rest of the teams don't have to do it.
Okay.
Let's see. And you can't start on your next obstacle until your entire team has finished the one you're currently working on. If there's no other questions, and you see one kid's hand go up. Yes, you. And you realize it's one of the guys from the 3-man team. And that's what his question's about. There's supposed to be 4 of us? He goes, oh, yes. You have another teammate coming. But he had a family member just getting out of the hospital today, so he's got an excused absence for today. That will be factored into your time, for the obstacles today. The kid
They did say we could push or throw teammates, we just can't carry them, right?
Push, pull, or drag. He then tells you kind of where the gyms are, or where the locker rooms are. Basically, the boys' lockers are on one side, the girls' lockers on the other, and sends you all off to change into gym clothes. One thing that had gone over that I forgot to mention is during regular classes there are school uniforms you'll be wearing. And in gym, you've got gym clothes you change into. Once the school day is over, even though you're still on campus and stuff, then you can change into your normal clothes.
Is it like, Catholic school outfits, or is it like a school super outfit, like X-Men?
It's like a cool tracksuit.
Now I'm picturing Mike Tyson mysteries. No, it's pretty much, a past-the-knee skirt or slacks, button-up shirt, little jacket. The jacket is optional depending on the weather. But they don't quite go as far as ties or any of that.
Okay.
Everything's got the little Academy logo on it.
Sounds like something like a lot of prep schools that Bandit would be familiar with back home. Not necessarily the full tie getup, but here's another question: do the uniforms come in some kind of like quote unquote unstable molecule version for people who have damaging physiques such as myself?
Yes, they do have. It's everybody's uniform isn't that stuff, but for special circumstances, they do have.
No, that's really
specialized equipment.
No, that'll save me a lot of modesty. Gym uniforms too, I hope.
Yes.
Sweet.
And he tells you, as time goes on, your gym clothes may kind of mutate into a superhero uniform if you don't already have one. At least for the underground, when you're in the underground gym. Regular PE classes will have regular uniforms that will be done in the above ground gym.
Oh.
So he sends y'all off to change into the gym clothes. Now, Rig-a-Jig, can you take your equipment off without too much trouble?
Yeah, it more or less hooks in under the armpits and bolts down at the feet.
Okay.
So it'll hiss, but I'll take off my baggy clothes and let it hiss, and I'll step out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a Steam Tech kind of like version of overalls?
No, it has a skeletal frame to it. It traces down and hooks in at different points. But the main parts that are really hold me in there are a slap over the, like a kind of a platform that I step my foot on, and then flap a big part that becomes the shoe over it. And then a part that goes on top of the shoulder and then shoots a little ring under the armpit to hold it in place.
So it's like primitive exoskeleton football equipment.
So did you make that?
With a little help, yeah. I'm not exactly the best metal worker, but magic is.
You have the touch of Ogun if I remember correctly, it was like.
Well, this is a conversation in the boys' locker room, so it's best to go in there to make
I
comments.
say nothing then.
Now, that being said, I would love just turning, just like, I think that had a bunch of vines just talking to us. But no.
I take that back.
Yeah, I just basically get put on the stuff and go, I don't think this is big enough to hold it, so guess I'll just slip back in. Anyway, it bolts down, hisses, links in.
But this time you're wearing your clothes under the
Yes.
harness. Okay.
Well, I had like thin clothes, like an undershirt and shorts. Under.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't call it a frame. Your name is Rig-a-Jig. We should call it the rig, but. Any conversations going on over in the girls' locker room?
Oh boy, this
Between
is.
Blessed Thorn and Lucina.
I imagine there's gonna be a lot of awkward silence, and although I think while we're changing, maybe Natalie would say something along the lines of, if she's allowed to be anywhere near Lacuna without her moving further away.
Lacuna's like, she's not trying to give you a dirty look, but she is very actively keeping a locker between the two of you.
Okay, that we're still within talking distance.
Yeah.
So I think let's see. Given that Banderly is really again an ancient spirit in the body of a teenage girl, at least freshly reincarnated, at least. I don't know how delicate she'd be in asking, but she'd simply say something along the lines of, so do you, I take it you don't take blood from the living. Humans, at least.
Prefer not to.
Oh, that's good. I take it you're not going to have the cafeteria planned?
No, the doctors set me up with the supply I can get. Bovine, rat. It doesn't taste good, but it keeps me calm.
Well, I may be spending my lunch hours in the sunroom myself. I don't have leg support, but I could adopt it easily enough. I mean, she may eat food or she may not, but anyway, that's just.
If she's blowing her lunch money on something else, she just goes outside.
That's a good point.
Turns green for a little while.
That's a good point.
Well, I say that you'd have credit. This is a private school. You'd have credits already
Sure.
kind of in the system.
Well, I could always trade him for cool stuff or whatever. Anyway.
So do you have like garlic or something growing in that bush? I don't know. You feel queasy around you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I know I look like a young mortal, but I am an incarnate spirit of nature. I do not know if your kind react poorly in the presence of such as myself. I am not a spirit of the I am not an entity of the carpenter's kingdom. I guess that's the way she'd phrase it. Although that's the way she described herself, as being like not a Christian angel or whatever. So I don't know if that's what you're reacting. I don't know if that's what disturbs you.
Maybe. We never really had a chance to test out that particular branch of physiology. Certain symbols did things, but I'm not exactly fond of going by the church crowd on Easter Sunday anymore. You know what I mean? Actually, do you know what I mean?
Actually, well, I'm living with one of, as you say, one of the, as you say, church crowd. They've been perfectly sweet, but I don't. I keep waiting. I keep waiting for them to. Wondering if today's the day they're going to try to exercise me, or if I'm just going to wake up in one of their baptismal pools. I don't know if my parents have told them that that they've taken a goddess as one of their guests.
Yeah, that sounds like a kind of a big thing to leave out of the paperwork.
Well, it's the only way we were able to make it over here. And so it was the only way my parents could afford to join me here. Anyway, I can assure you that I come to the school in the spirit of learning, and that I do not plan on extinguishing your existence.
Hey man, if you ever figure out how to, make me not a vampire without, turning me into a pile of ash, I'd be down with the help, down for that. But I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, all right? This is the first time I've been around a lot of other people my age. I mean, comparative age, I guess. In a while, all right? So she comes back around and just sort of holds out a hand. We cool?
I think she reflexively she flinches at the thought of touching you simply because she's got those piercing thorns all over the place. But you might feel your arm just kind of shake as if you're holding something in your hand that you don't see.
That's cool.
I love how Lacuna kind of sounds like Daria.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe not as snarky, but other than that.
It's not where I was going whenever I started it, but I realized it about 5 sentences in, and I liked it. It needs a little refinement.
So anyway, there are staff on both sides that are handing out uniform, asking sizes and handing out uniforms as you come in there and you change and you meet back up. Miss Fowler is out there waiting on you. She takes you over. She tells you, all right, your first obstacle is the wall. And sure enough, it's a 15, 20-foot wall. Just wooden slats. There's no ropes or safety harnesses. So what each of you is going to have to do for me is, well, how do you, you're told you got to get over this wall. How are y'all going to try to do it?
How high is the wall?
15 or 20 feet.
Well, I know how Serpent Boy is going to handle it. Is he in the student body?
He is. Now, he's probably a grade higher than y'all. He was probably a freshman last year.
Oh, so this is off. Oh, so the assembly is strictly first level students or first year students.
Well, this test is just the 4 of us.
Yeah. Everybody's
really?
breaking up and doing different tests in different orders.
Okay.
We're all first year students.
Okay. So okay.
The first year students were going first. The rest of the school is basically been cut loose to explore the grounds for a little bit.
Okay.
And then once all the freshmen finish up, the sophomores come in and do theirs. Y'all are going first because y'all are the freshmen are the largest class.
So, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
My strength of 7, does that give me the ability to jump higher than average?
Not noticeably higher than average. For that, you have to have the leaping power.
Could he power stunt his strength?
He could absolutely power stun it. Yeah, he could absolutely power stun.
That doesn't matter. That's not going to help everybody else. Kids.
Yeah.
Well, you're strong enough you can throw.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to throw.
How do we survive? How do we look
Well,
at
we were told we weren't allowed to carry.
But we can
You can push,
cheerleader.
you can push, pull, and drag.
Okay.
You could push them in the air.
There's nothing that says we can't, form a tower, standing on each other's shoulders.
Yeah. Although, yeah. How tall is the wall again?
20 feet, I thought.
Looking at it, you think 15 or 20.
Oh, okay.
Now, Miss
maybe
Fowler
so.
standing there, you could ask her, and she, maybe she could tell you, maybe she could.
All right. Rigajig will go ahead and say, I can leap. Lacuna, can you leap or fly?
I can fly, but I kind of don't really want to. I mean, I could
Also, we're not allowed to fly.
climb up it.
In this test.
Like, what's it made out of?
It's made out of wood. And yes, flying was specifically banned.
Okay.
Wood wall.
Lacuna's gonna try and just smash some finger holes into it with the right hand.
Okay. Not destroy it, but just...
Yeah.
Blessed Thorn, can you grow plants to just make yourself a bridge?
My connection to the Great Lands is not that strong yet. I haven't bought that. In other words, I haven't purchased that extra yet. If I could, I can manipulate existing plants. But, oh, wait a minute! This is a wood wall. Perhaps I might be able to. Perhaps I may have a word with. No, the question is, does it still qualify as a plant, given that it's constructed into a wall? I could at least try.
Yeah, it would probably depend on how well you roll.
Yeah. Let me see if I may have a word with this wall.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry, but I didn't ask you. Do you have a way up the wall? Look at
Well,
it.
oh, whoops.
Who were you talking to just then, Tyler?
Putty. The last member to.
Oops,
Not really, but like I said, I could power stun it to try to jump. But if Lacuna can just make, or not Lacuna, but Blessed Thorn can just grow handholds, then I'm more than good.
Yes.
All right.
Here's how it works.
This is if we make handholds, any team that comes behind us can use them unless we fix the wall.
Unless you spackled them. All right, so Zach had rolled for Lacuna. I'll start saying it right eventually. His 11 did not beat the 22 I rolled, but that's because I was rolling a d20 by mistake. It does beat the d8 I rolled when I rolled the right dice, though. So, yeah, you basically see Lacuna walk up to the wall and just jab her fingers into it and just start pulling herself up that way.
All right.
That
There's
is a
handholds
take
now.
action gal.
And as
watch out
soon
for
as she walked
Smoker.
up and touched the wall, you saw Miss Fowler hit the time, start the stopwatch.
Oh, let's go, folks. Rigajig will just jump it with his leaping ability.
All right, how far can you leap?
Rank of 6.
Yeah, you just bounce right over it.
Yeah.
You bounce up, you tap the ceiling that's, 2 or 3 stories tall, and then come back down the other side. You hear a couple of woes from other other teams in the gym. The ones that haven't started yet.
Now, my plant control power, I control plants, granting them movement and rudimentary awareness for as long as I concentrate. I can't control plants with a higher material strength than my power level, which is 5, which is as strong as, I just looked it up, like concrete, I think.
Yeah. That's definitely these boars would be like a 1 or a 2 probably.
Yeah. I guess the real question is, does a scout still count as a plant? But they can invite earth control problems. Anyway, powers. So yeah, let's make the roll. I'm just basically rolling with it's a strength of 5, or my power level is 5, so I think I just roll +5.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and a D6. Let's see. The material strength is 2, and I'm going to give it a +2 for being dead.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this dead. You can feel your powers kind of latch into it a little bit, but you're having a really hard time getting it to do anything. And you figured probably because it's been dead, for a while. If it was freshly cut, maybe you'd have an easier time of it. But
Dead plants. That's fair. Well, I use up some time, but barring that, can I use my aura to just do what Lacuna did, or is that something that needs a stunting?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a coordination or strength, whichever one you'd rather use.
That would be coordination.
All right, give me a coordination roll. And your difficulty is... All right, you managed to get to the top, no problem.
Wonderful. But do I have to climb? Do I have to roll again to climb back down?
Yes. Well, obviously, getting down is not really a problem.
Okay.
You need to make a roll if you want to get down without hurting yourself.
Gotcha. All right. So another coordination check.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you slipped. You take 1 point of stamina damage. You managed to get most of the way down the wall before your thorns slip out and you kind of fall. And there's a thin mat on the ground, so you're not just hitting the ground, but it's one of those really thin gymnast mats.
All right.
Is there enough holes in the wall from the thorn and the claws for me to grab onto to climb?
You can certainly try. Give me a coordination roll.
And I would add my athletics, correct?
Correct.
Aw.
You get yourself up off the ground, and then your fingers slip out, and you drop back down to the ground.
Okay, well, I use a determination point and power stunt to jump.
All right.
She'll put you at a leaping higher than mine.
Well, he doesn't have to use the full distance, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
So
I'm just saying.
So what are you tapping?
Oh, that's a good question.
Don't worry, you have an easy out if you need it.
I can't just spin determination.
Right, you have to tap one of your qualities.
What do I have?
You have the easy out.
Well, come at me, bro, would be fun, but it's not going to work. But I am a monster.
All right. I can accept that because you're about to do something, inhuman.
And so, am I using my strength this time?
Yeah, you would probably power stunt that off of your strength.
Yeah.
Because, stats that are 7 or higher, you can power stunt them like they were a power.
And I'm still adding my athletics. I'm assuming. But I got it that time.
All right. That's enough of the majors. All right, so you get over. Lacuna. You get to the top without any trouble. Give me a roll to get down the other side without falling or hurting yourself.
Okay.
Ooh. You lucked out. I
Coordination,
rolled
right?
minimum, so all you gotta do is beat a 4. Alright, so you scramble down without any trouble.
Alright. Rigajig would like to help Blessed Thorn up.
Alright.
Are you doing that by touching me?
I don't know if I take stamina damage from that.
If you touch her, you're taking stamina damage.
Well, I reach a hand out. Whether or not she takes it is up to her.
Oh, okay.
I do not. I'm okay. I'm okay. She just says, and she probably sounds a little short when she does that. When she says that.
All right, but we're going to be working together, so if you're ever not okay, tell us that too.
I'll nod and concede that.
Alright, so everybody's on the other side. Lacuna crawled up and crawled down. She fell, but that didn't take any extra time. Oh, no. Lacuna crawled up and crawled down without any trouble.
Yeah.
Blessed Thorn
I fell.
tried to grow the plants. That didn't work. Then she climbed up, and then she climbed down. You know, fell and hurt herself, but that didn't cost her any time. Putty tried to climb. That failed. Then he jumped. And Rigajig just jumped, period. So
Just 2 turns. Finished it out. Or 2 pages. Finished out. Or panels. I forget how it's worded in icons.
Well, I'm adding everybody's pages up, so y'all got a score of 8 on that one, because one of you took 3, one of you took 1, and then 2 of you took 2.
Oh, okay.
And then I can compare you to the other teams later. But as soon as Putty lands on the other side, or whoever it was that had to do the 3, I guess technically Putty would have got to the other side before Blessed Thorn. But as soon as the last one of you touches down, you know, you see Miss Fowler, you know, click it. Not bad, not bad. I mean, I'm really just assuming because I don't have anything to compare it to yet.
Did any of us take 3 turns?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just talk, climb, fall.
No, Blessed Thorn tried to make stuff grow out of the wood first.
That's one for the fences.
Yeah, that was the talk. Then it
Well,
was
no,
climb,
I
fall.
tried to convince the. I wasn't going to try to grow. I was going to try to persuade the wall to like bend down and.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Basically, have it prostrate itself before me.
But Blessed Thorn did that and then crawled up and then crawled down.
Did I say that right?
And,
Okay,
you know, fell partway through the crawl, but the fall didn't add any extra time.
Okay,
over
I got you.
successfully crawling. She carries you over to the other side, where you wait for a second while the team that's there finishes up.
Oh, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Actually, I'll take a quick break too. While we're at it.
But you know, as y'all get there, some of the team currently working on it has already succeeded or has already finished, and they're sitting there cheering on theirs. One of them's a black girl with her hair up in not quite pigtails, kind of those power puffs. When y'all walk up, she turns, looks at you. Good day. Got a clear Australian accent. We're all, you know, we're almost done here.
Goot Morgan to you too.
Are you trying to be funny?
It was an attempt at comedy. I've realized it has failed.
That's okay.
There's no way to know that I have German ancestry.
What?
And I'm gone.
Oh, that was German. Okay. I thought you were trying to do like a really bad copy of like my accent. All right. Sorry, I run into a lot of people doing Crocodile Dundee to me. So.
No, I'd never be that insensitive while trying to impress someone.
I'll whisper to Rick Jig. Thanks for covering my oi.
No problem, man.
So she looks at Riggajig and Putty. So what do you guys do? She points at Riggajig. I guess you're one of those inventor types.
He'll pull out the magic rune. Not for lack of trying other things, and then puts it back up.
Oh. One of them techno magician types.
I'm sorry, who's asking us about our powers?
So y'all walk up and there's this it's like this little maze of what looks like air duct material, air duct tubes sitting out there. That clearly you're having the other team is crawling through. But a couple of their members have already finished and were cheering them on. They're talking to this black girl with an Australian accent.
Oh.
That, Riggajig immediately tried to say something in German that she didn't quite get. And then she was asking, Riggajig and Putty what they do. Then she looks over, but after Riggajig tells her that, she kind of glances over at Putty. Oh, what do you do? All right, keep your secrets in. I mean, we'll figure it out pretty quick as the year goes on, I think.
I'm just the bruiser.
Oh, you're a brick. Oh, yeah, we'll have to spar sometime. Then. Do you fly? I mean, I saw you do the jump thing a minute ago, but do you fly?
I do not fly.
Oh, okay. I do, but we can't during the testing, so. And as she's talking, the last two of her teammates come out of the tubes. One of them looks very downhearted. A male teacher walks over. What's the matter? And when he holds up his hand, he's got a broken egg. It's dead, Jim. Guy jots that down, looks over the other student who holds their egg up and shows you that it's, fine.
They killed a chicken.
It's not in an incubator. It was already dying.
The male teacher, as he's walking by y'all and hears that, it's like, they were unfertilized eggs. Don't worry about it. And then he carries his team off to the other side. The young lady, before she leaves, like, oh yeah, I'm Molly, by the way.
Howdy.
Lacuna.
See,
She shakes everybody's hand. She goes to shake Blessed Thorn's hand, but I'm assuming you kind of did the pullback.
Yeah, then I give the telekinetic shake.
Oh, neat. Yeah, don't worry, your thorns probably wouldn't hurt me. And then she looks at how big they are. Probably.
That would be a new realization to Bandily, the fact that there may be people here who she wouldn't be dangerous to upon touch.
But then, then that team walks off. You see Molly put a hand on the shoulder, thinking that broke its egg. Don't worry about it, mate. It's just the first thing, first obstacle. We're fine.
So we gotta carry an egg through tubing.
Fowler tells
probably
you,
has-
yes, this is the hidden bomb recovery.
Oh.
So yeah, you got to climb through these air vents, and they're set up like a tunnel, and you've got to carry this egg without breaking it. Each egg, costs you a time penalty. And she rattles off the amount of time, but for our purposes, it's a page penalty. Oh, excuse me, a 2-page penalty. Let's see. And basically, we're going to send you through. When one of you hits the halfway point, we start the next one. You don't necessarily have to finish in that order, but it's. She goes. It's not like it's a complex maze where you'll get lost or anything. So which one of you wants to go first?
I feel like that Thorn may have a better chance with this than she did with the wall. She'd like to use her telekinesis to carry the egg through.
Alrighty.
And basically it operates with the strength of telekinesis, which is 4, but for any kind of coordination tests, she would use her willpower, which is pretty high, actually.
Alright, so what you got to do with this test is give me a coordination test to make the crawl without breaking the egg. As you said, you're using your telekinesis, so by all means, use your willpower instead.
Yeah. It generated a 7.
All right, and your number you had to beat was a 5.
Phew.
So yeah, you start crawling through.
And is there anything that says I can't do the same thing for everyone else? In theory?
You would have to be able to see along the... the
gotcha.
tubes twist and turn. You can't sit at one side and look down the other side, so... You would have to be able to look at the egg to manipulate it telekinetically.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, kind of... Alright, so that... Alright, so that roll gets you halfway through. Give me one more roll.
Oh, okay.
Basically, if you get a major success, you can do it in just the 1 page. Lesser successes take more.
Got another 7. Oh, I keep rolling 1s.
Oh!
Oh, crunch.
So, yeah, that's a crack. You're crawling along, you're doing pretty good. You try to speed up, because time's of the essence. And where you're keeping the egg floating, like, a few inches in front of you, you don't turn it quite sharp enough, and you wind up bumping it on one of the walls. It doesn't completely, squish, but it's definitely cracked.
Not a happy camper.
So that was 2 pages to get through the maze, and another 2-page penalty for cracking an egg. All right, who's next?
No one else wants to.
You can go ahead. Go ahead and go.
Miss Fowler hands Putty an egg.
Uh,
and Blessed Thorn's only halfway through at this point, but...
Yeah, do I add my athletics to this one also, or no?
Yeah, I think it would make sense for you to. 6 is the number to beat.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. All right, that is a major success.
What?
So let me see. With a major success, you get through without cracking the egg. Because basically you have to do 2 minor successes or a major to get through it. Okay, give me one more roll for the second half, because the maze is big enough that it's a 2-part something. So you got a 6. I got a 10. All right. So it's another page. Now you got a major success, so you still didn't crack the egg. But where the maze isn't that complicated, you still managed to take a wrong turn, so it's going to take you one more round to get out. So give me one more roll. All right, so you got out.
Stupid man.
As Putty hits the halfway point, Fowler looks over at Rigajig and Lacuna.
I'll go.
She hands you the egg.
And it's a coordination test, correct?
Right. Now, if you can think of some power to use or something, feel free to suggest it or ask if it would work.
I feel like there's probably safeguards around me hitting them with a mind whammy and just walking around the fights. So
Yeah.
I'll just go through it normally.
All right. 10's the number you need to beat because I'm afraid I rolled really high.
Oop.
Okay, marginal success. So that's a tie. So that's one page. But it's not a failure, so you didn't immediately crack the egg. But you immediately get turned around in the tubing. So give me another roll.
Oop.
That's another marginal. So again, you're not cracking, but you're not making a lot of progress here. Give me another roll.
God.
All right, so you beat that one by 2. So now you've reached the halfway point. Give me another one. So that's a marginal, or not a marginal, a minor, or. All right. So you finally managed to make it out.
She comes out the other end, just sort of clicks her way out. Like,
All
point
right.
back.
Fowler holds her last egg up to Rigajig. And he looks at his bulky equipment. Good luck.
Doesn't he have like a compartment he can stick it in?
All right.
Ricochet looks at Fowler as Fowler looks at the equipment. Pops it off and lets it leap to the exit. And takes the egg and walks in.
Well, you're just standing next to the kind of the entrance into the little maze there, into the piping that's just laid out on the gym floor. So.
Yeah, but where the exit is, I just let the suit pop off to there. I'll just go in without my suit on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh.
None of the powers this suit gives me are going to help. Psst.
So why take the negative? Will my specialty of stealth help me keep it?
No, that's not going to help.
All right.
All that would do is maybe, if you really wanted to focus on it, it might make you quiet enough that they couldn't tell where you were at necessarily.
All right, let's get this roll in. Hey-oh. Is that a major?
Right. That's a major, so you were going to make it through without cracking the egg. It's just a matter of how many rounds, do you get lost, how many rounds does it take you. So there's your first one. So roll it again, because you need 2 successes to get through.
Two successes.
2 moderates are better to get through.
Oh.
So I rolled a 5, you rolled a 6, which is a moderate.
So somebody.
So one more.
Yeah, that's your 2. You succeeded on both rolls.
Okay.
And one of them was a major, so no breakage. Oh, you didn't have to worry about breakage at any point after that. All right, so the grand total is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 pages total to get through there.
As Ryujik gets back in his suit. Only carry what you have to.
The trick is Rigajig. Let's see. Rigajig actually goes in and comes. He actually comes out of the maze before Lacuna does, because she was in there so long. He's only a little bit behind Putty.
Surprise, surprise! Running around with a big metal suit of armor and you take it off, you're pretty quick.
It's like wearing weights around your ankles and you go running and then you take them off. But Fowler puts the unbroken eggs back in the container, and the cracked one just gets chunked into a paper wastebasket. That is at the end of the maze, already with some eggs in it. But Miss Fowler writes down the time. All right, that's pretty good. And you see other people working on the wall and some of these other things. She then takes you over to a balance beam. It's actually got little stairs on either side. Like those little ones you can just move around. They're not like attached to the balance beam. It's just a standard balance beam. All right, in this one you have to cross the balance beam. And as you walk up, you've got the balance beam, little stairs will get you up there. It's fairly close to the back wall, and there is chalk, splats of chalk all over the back wall, and chalk-coated tennis balls rolling around on the ground. And these tennis ball launchers on the opposite side. So he's like, so you need to cross this balance beam, preferably without getting shot by the tennis balls. So what this requires is coordination checks to get across the balance beam. And dodge checks to avoid getting hit by the tennis balls. Everybody that falls off the beam or gets hit, there's a time penalty. And she's like, you can take the time to go across one at a time, or you can all just sort of go across at one time, however y'all.
Is there an advantage for all of us to go at one time? In other words, if we all go at once, could maybe one of us take the hit to, protect the others?
If it wasn't on a balance beam, probably, because you could just do that while they passed behind you. But you're on a balance beam, so there's no way for them to get around you.
Could I use my telekinesis to kind of like bat the balls down before they even get to us?
Okay. There's only one of the launchers. Wait a second. There's only one of the launchers.
Can we see the launcher?
Oh yeah. I can absolutely see the launcher.
Is there
someone
metal
operating it?
Oh yeah. There's a guy standing behind it. He got a big old smile on his face.
Oh, guys,
Oh,
you gotta let me go first.
have to let you go first?
I'm not saying I'm the most coordinated, but if they hit me with those balls, I might be able to take out that cannon.
No. I like the sound of that plan.
Miss Fowler just leans forward. I don't know what you've got planned. Just remember, if you destroy an obstacle, destroying the cannon would count as destroying an obstacle. I'm just saying. Just putting that out.
But
Miss
destroying
Fowler, I'm not responsible. The cannon destroys itself.
That would probably be well. You know what? The principal would have to judge. So you
Can we
just
destroy
do,
that?
You just do what you're doing.
We destroy the. Is it a student or like a faculty member who's firing the
Oh,
car?
it's a faculty member. It's a faculty member.
We destroy him.
Looks like part of the custodial crew, probably.
Yeah. What if we destroy the? What if we destroy the operator?
Miss Fowler's like, oh, I'm pretty sure that would be murder.
Okay, then not quite destroy then.
Incapacitate.
He's wearing a helmet. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Right. I guess he's fair game.
I can generate a windscreen to block against the shots. And it's a balance beam, so if you guys are behind me, then...
Well, keep in mind, he's shooting at you like broadside.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it's shooting straight down the beam. It's from the side, and he can aim.
Oh, never mind then.
Wants. But anyway, Putty was saying he wanted to go first.
So what do I roll? What do I roll?
Oh, what now?
What do I roll?
All right. Well, baseline, you would be rolling a coordination check to cross without falling. And that's just to cross the balance beam.
Right.
Uh,
So I guess let's do that first.
all right. Give me a roll. This is one that's already got just the full difficulty out. So you only got to beat a 5.
Oh.
Okay, so you're not going to fall off the balance beam, just trying to walk across it. And then then there is a dodge test to avoid being hit. But I suspect that I know what you're about to try.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it hit me.
All right. So I'm assuming you're going to use your reflection power to try to send it back at the guy.
I am.
All right, so roll that. And with reflection, you roll. Let's see. Is it a coordination roll, or do you roll your power level? One quick check, since this is the first session. Let's see. You reflect the attack back at your attacker. Yeah, you test your reflection power as a reaction with the attacker's effect level as the difficulty. Alright. Well, the test to dodge was a 7. But that wouldn't be the effect of a ball hitting you. So, it's a tennis ball coming at you. Pretty fast, but it's not designed to damage you. So, yeah, with an 11... The ball strikes you. It leaves a little powder on you. It counts as a hit. Your skin flexes in slightly and then just launches it back at the guy. He's in a helmet. It catches him right under the brim of the helmet. Just poof.
Ooh.
Right above the nose, kind of between the eyes, and there's just a poof of chalk. And the guy's like, ah, and he's rubbing his eyes. Oh, it's right in my eyes.
Go,
Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Yeah.
So everybody make the coordination checks not to fall off, and that's all you got to do, because, y'all hustle across.
All right.
So we'll let Mike roll first.
All right. And
Zach jumped the guns or whatever.
All right.
oh, oops, that's fine.
It's not a problem at all.
Can I do something similar to using my thorns to kind of group myself into the? Well, would that be damaging the balance beam? Because I'd basically be doing damage.
It wouldn't be destroying the beam, because anybody can still walk across it.
Okay. Now, I can't remember when I did the climbing. Was I using my aura of 4 to climb, or was I still using coordination?
I would say you're using your coordination. I would let the power give you a bump to it. So whatever your coordination is, give yourself like a +1.
Okay.
But anyway, it's as soon as Putty does that and finishes his walk, Rigajig is doing his go 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 go. Well, Lacuna immediately jumps up and just takes off across, has no trouble. I mean, it's like she's at a dead run across the beam with no trouble. So Blessed Thorn can make your check.
If I just hit the attribute button, will I get an opportunity to add the +1?
No, you just roll the attribute.
Okay, I'll just enter this manually then.
Rigajig will also quickly ask the teacher, do I have to walk across the beam or just get across the gap?
You have to cross the beam. She's like, you can't leap it.
Okay, thanks.
Alright, so Mike got a 6, and the difficulty was a 5.
Oh, poop.
This one had the full difficulties already calculated, roll and all, so I don't have to roll that one. I just have to go with the number. So you beat it by 1, so you're not as graceful as Putty and, Putty was a little more graceful, I guess. You're not as graceful as Lacuna running across there, but you get across without any trouble. Maybe there's one spot where you have to stop for a second and catch your balance and then keep going. Rigajig.
It's coordination. I'm very coordinated.
Even with your bulky suit, yeah, you just hop up in there and run across. So everybody got across. So it was 1 page for everybody because nobody fell off.
Nice.
Putty took a hit, so that is 1 extra one. But that meant none of the rest of you even had to make the check. So
In spirit of staying dignity of getting.
yes, that was good strategy. So that's a total of 5.
Oh, did you change your
I hear an Anna. Hi.
You do hear an
Did I say
Jason
hi?
says hi.
Hello.
I essentially have launched Junior, so she's here in spirit.
Miss Fowler is very impressed. The guy manning the gun is laughing and points at Putty. Dirty pool, man, dirty pool. But he seems to be taking it with pretty good spirit.
That's good.
Rigajig will quietly whisper to Blessed Thorn. So, did you weaken the balance beam enough for it to crack on the next team? Or are we being respectful?
Honestly, I think she was too focused on just not falling herself because she's not physical stuff is not her forte. She's definitely out of her element, and she probably seems like a little annoyed at the whole experience.
Oh.
And all the damage you saw were a few little nicks, where the thorns had kind of gripped it a little bit. Nothing deep enough that's going to affect the structural integrity. Those will buff right out.
And didn't they say that if we destroy an obstacle, that just means the next team doesn't have to deal with it?
Right.
So yeah, they wouldn't be penalized. They just wouldn't have to deal with the same stuff.
They would have been penalized a minute, but we'd also be helping everyone else out
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
Interesting suggestion, though.
All right. Next up, she takes you to a corner of the gym that's actually, it's got like some. It's walled off. It's a corner. One corner is walled off by these little. What's the word I'm looking for here? Little temporary. I mean, they're clearly not part of the gym. They just something that came in and got stood up. But as you step in there, yeah, partitions is probably a good way to do it. It's relatively narrow. Maybe 10 feet across. 30 feet or so long. And there are red laser lights just crisscrossing it.
Oh boy.
The team that was walking away as y'all came up were all shaking their heads like that, like they had not had a pleasant experience. Nobody's clothes were on fire though, so clearly it's not that kind of laser.
What's that movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones, where she's the cat thief and she's being trained by James Bond to like cross through that laser maze. I'm feeling a sense of that coming on.
So Miss Fowler tells you, all right, this is the laser grid. So you tell basically it's a maze of little maze of security sensors, the red light lasers. She tells you one character. She goes, one of you needs to get through the room without triggering the sensors. Where the rest of you may assist them. If you can think of some way to help them get through.
Well, would it be possible for Blessed Thorn to adopt a pollen power to kind of like fog up the lasers and block their light? Is that a thing that's feasible?
It's definitely something Blessed Thorn can do, but if you block the lasers, that's triggering them. That'd be like blocking them with your hand. They're gonna detect that as something passed through. Something broke through there.
Mm-hmm.
How tall is the laser grid?
Well, these partitions, it has like a lid on it. So the entire room is maybe got a 10-foot ceiling on it, so to speak. Now, the ceiling is like a tarp. But there's grids, the grids go all the way up, basically.
And how much space is there between each laser beam?
Maybe enough to get through it.
Uh,
Presumably, they set up the test to be done. So Miss Fowler asks you, so which one of you wants to makes the actual attempt, and let me know when you're ready. You've got, I can give you a couple of minutes. I give you a minute or so to strategize, and then we gotta, get started. Before I hit the stopwatch.
I've got nothing on this one.
Do we have any way to reflect the lasers in a way that wouldn't trigger them?
Nothing in my repertoire. You turn intangible?
Will my stealth specialty add into dodging laser grids? And if it doesn't, why do I have the stealth specialty?
Because you rolled it randomly.
So you can sneak. Well, yes, that, and you can sneak past people. You can sneak out of your house without your mother noticing, that sort of thing.
So
Tell me that dodging laser grids is not a stealth ability.
It is very much a stealth ability.
All right, I'll give it to you.
I'm assuming the goal is to not trigger
Correct.
the sensors, period. So
There is a 5-page penalty if you trigger the sensors.
yeah, if we trigger the lasers instead of the person we choose to go through, we still lost.
They are still triggered.
I think I've got the best chance of getting through it. I'll just take the suit off and I've got the best chance.
I'm just trying to think if there's any way we can help, but I've got nothing to help you.
Unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank too, unless my telekinesis can help you in some way.
Like, what is your coordination plus?
Wait. Is
Oh,
the
you know
laser-
what?
Are the lasers moving at all?
No, they're all stationary.
They're all
What if
stationary.
I use
Okay.
my telekinesis to carry Rigajig through? Because I would be my coordination would be equal to my willpower of 6.
That would
I
be
am
you
getting-
carrying me.
I am getting a
Oh,
echo.
we can't carry people through this either. Oh, that was a rule
just the
for the
wall?
entire thing, right? We can't carry. You can push, pull, or
Or drag.
drag, but we
Now-
can't carry people.
You couldn't just pick him up and maneuver him through there. But if you try to like nudge him a little bit, okay, he let's say he's leaping over this one. Oh, he's getting a little too low. Nudge him up.
Wait.
Yeah, like maybe almost like if you're like going through a limbo contest, and you're still the one walking through and doing the bending back, but maybe
Got a hand
if I
on their back,
hold you,
him up. Yeah, that sort of thing
is
you
that
could do.
feasible?
You could help with your telekinesis. You just couldn't actually carry him.
Okay.
Well, do the lasers look like that they could be manipulated with the telekinesis to just move them out of the way?
They look like they are. Give me an awareness roll. Just at a quick glance, it looks like both the piece generating the laser and the sensor the laser is hitting, and you have to move them both at the same time. It looks like that they're just stuck to the walls with probably like some adhesive tape on the back. But you'd have to pull them both off, and still keep that laser beam connecting.
And there's is the sensor just a bit of metal, or is it a specific like a actual like second side of a laser curtain?
It is something that detects the laser is hitting it.
Okay, it's electronic.
Yeah, they're both they're both about as big around as like one of those air fresheners you can stick to a wall.
All right.
The one projecting the laser is a little bit thicker, but
Well, if we've got nothing else, I think I'm the best bet.
And I use my telekinesis to support, literally and figuratively.
yes, I'll let you make a roll, and if you succeed, you'll give him a +2 to his coordination.
And Curtis, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, just a second, Curtis.
During the whole thing off before he walks through. If the sensors aren't on, they can't go off.
That would probably
That
require
is-
you to go through and turn each sensor off individually, which would be like passing.
Oh. I shouldn't be trying to cheat, but
No, that's the purpose of this test.
Yeah, working within the bounds of the given rules and thinking creatively is always, it's got to be a big part of superheroing, right?
What's the thing in Star Trek? The
Kobayashi. We're gonna Kobayashi the shit out of this thing.
Is the floor metal?
It's
The floor is like typical gym floor.
Okay.
and I'm just checking to make sure I can in fact lift your weight with my telekinesis, and I should be able to with a strength of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take the suit off and sure.
Sure.
I wonder why.
But all if one of us was on the other side to, give him support to go through the, so he had better support going through on the other side of the lasers.
You mean one of y'all basically start on the other side of lasers and, I don't know, catch him or what
Yeah,
exactly?
catch him or give him some, put their hands up so he's got something to stand on rather than have to go all the way down to the ground.
I mean, also just you being there to like, if there's a laser, I have to jump over, and you can position an arm and pull me over.
Yeah.
You'd have to get past the lasers to get back there. The way the room.
Ah, well then never mind then. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking, if he's got support on the other side, it might help him get past a laser.
All right.
You know
I'm
what?
ready to
Give me
see-
if he needs to support his weight.
Putty, give me a awareness roll.
What is Putty's awareness? Come on, sheep work with. Can I add science?
Sure.
Oh, we'll put science in this one more. And make it a 10.
So, like I said, the lasers go all the way up, but at the top, you notice they're not quite as thick, and you see a gap you think you could probably chunk him through. You know, and you know, you're calculating, okay, he'd go up, and the angle he'd probably come down. So to help him get past some of that first batch, and then you'd have, you know, Blessed Thorn kind of helping him steer.
Yeah.
So
can we chunk him through, or if it's only 10 feet?
You know, you're really pushing him. Just you're pushing him kind of up and over. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because I could certainly strong enough to do that.
And that would allow for, you know, because his leaping ability comes from his suit. So if he's not wearing the suit, you know, that's still helping him. Ooh. I don't know if that came through the mic.
Okay. If you're good with that.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, so now I don't have Lacuna's sheet pulled up, so I don't know if Lacuna's got something or not.
No, I have nothing that can help in this situation.
The best you can do is if they fail miserably, you can turn invisible so they can't see you laughing at them.
I'm not with them.
All right. So, Blessed Thorn, give me you used your willpower with your telekinesis, I believe. So, give me a willpower roll.
Yes, this is for coordination purposes. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, finally good roll.
All right, you just. That's a major success. Excuse me. Then Putty, give me a. I guess yours would be coordination because you're throwing something. All right, so your throw's a little wobbly and doesn't really help that much.
I tried.
Ah, well, you know, it's all down to the dice roll. Now, Rigajig, give me your coordination check. The number you are trying to beat is an 8. You have a +2, you know.
Oh, yeah, let me put that modifier in.
Yeah.
All right.
Blessed Thorn is giving you a +2.
Rigajig.
Hey.
All right. Let's see. So yeah, they fling. You know, you're flung up. You go through the top. You drop down. You know, you hit the ground. You roll. You spring over another laser and slide under another one. Every now and then, while you're doing this, you feel a little nudge one way or the other. You know, and when you go to slide under, you realize you're not quite going to make it, and then you feel what to you feels like a hand on each shoulder really give you a shove, and you know, it's like you started sliding, and then suddenly the slide speeds up, and you're under the last laser, and on the other side of it. So y'all did that in one page.
Wow.
Which is
that was actually pretty cool.
That's why the penalty is so high on that one. You know, if you do trigger it.
I'm gonna call right now. Rick's gonna be later for the year.
Rikijig now gets back in his suit. It starts getting back in his suit. I'm having to take this off an awful lot from the chest. Put it back on.
So y'all leave this test looking a lot happier than the previous team.
Yeah.
And Miss Fowler, oh, that's very good. That was very nicely done. She's like, all right, our last test.
Fight a
Save.
bear, don't lose. Fight a bear, don't lose.
She goes, for this one, we need to step over to the next room where the swimming pool is.
Rikki goes, wait, what?
I guess you might not want to bother putting that suit on.
No, I have to put it on to carry it. Rikki just looks slumped and depressed following.
So you step into the next room. Well, it's actually down the hallway a little ways, but there's a large swimming pool, not quite Olympic size, but pretty close. But she takes you over to one on the side that is it's shallow. It's only like chest deep maybe, and about 20 feet around. She tells you this is cooperative, and you see a mannequin suspended 10 feet off the ground, or 10 feet in the air over the shallow pool. There's a mannequin attached to a quick release harness. And she tells you, you must safely retrieve the mannequin or the hostage without anyone entering the pool. No tools are provided. Dropping the mannequin in the pool costs the team 5 pages.
Oof.
I mean, she rounds it off as an amount of time.
Is flying still disallowed?
She goes, yes,
that's all of them. There's no flying.
Oh, Blessed Thorn's got the telekinesis, though, to just snag it.
Sure.
Unless there's a surprise they're not telling us about.
Miss Fido laughs. No, there's no explosives. There's absolutely nothing like that. And just before she says the word "like," you hear just the slightest click, and the mannequin starts to fall.
Oh, I will try to lock the powers of my mind around the mannequin.
All right.
Gotcha. I'm going to make a roll for this telekinetic coordination.
My leaping, despite its degrading, is still at rank 5 because I've only used it once. So I can still leap across an Olympic-sized swimming pool without trouble.
Okay, well, this one is the smaller, like 20-foot circular thing to the side.
Yeah. I should still be able to leap that pretty easy.
Yeah.
So just going to aim my leap to catch the body, hoping it stalls out above the pool with telekinesis.
First things first, everybody give me an awareness roll. I described the little click, but really I'll have to make an awareness roll to have realized what she did. All right, 7's the number to beat, so Blessed Thorn beats it. Lacuna beats it.
Everyone but me beats it.
No.
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
No putty.
So she's telling you, yeah, there's nothing like that. And Putty and Riggy are just not along to, oh, okay, yeah, well, then, we can do this or that. Or the two ladies, on the other hand, though, heard the click.
Yeah, I would like to just use the power of thought to just grab our hostage.
All right. Give me a willpower roll. Oh, you lucked out. I rolled minimum, so you only got to be 5.
Yes.
Nice.
Yowza.
He catches a mannequin, fixes its clothes, does its hair, and just pulls it on over.
She catches the mannequin and then folds it into a superhero pose like it's flying to you.
I make a dab.
And she's just sitting there and it's marinating it.
Dabbing's probably still hot in Nigeria.
So she's kind of like, oh yeah, there's nothing like that. And then, just before she says like, she clicks the button to drop it. And Blessed Thorn just kind of like, and then it's just sitting, then it's just standing there next to you.
Rigajig's turns. Okay, we won.
She goes, yeah, I guess that was a pretty easy test given your power set. Which is, why we do the surprise thing.
Our team totally rocks.
Are we supposed to have a team name, by the way?
What's that now?
Are we supposed to have a team name, by the way? Or is that a later project?
That will come up later.
Okay.
I mean, certainly you have probably already heard some students already talking about it,
Sure.
We're Team Blurb.
Blurb.
Second team blurb.
BLRP.
Are those our initials?
Yeah.
Team Blurb.
Well, you don't have any vowels.
We need a vowel. We need to recruit a vowel.
All right, 13, 14, 15, 20. So you did that in 28 pages.
Oh, is that the end?
Beg pardon?
Is that the last challenge?
Yes, this was the last part of the obstacle course.
Ooh.
Like I said, there's multiple teams moving through this, so she tells you at basically in homeroom tomorrow, which is the first day of regular classes, they will announce the times.
Rigajig will ask, now, for the record, there's not some kind of screwy, we're gonna fake the times to see your reactions kind of stuff, right?
No, she's like, no, not to my knowledge. That doesn't sound like something Tim would
This
do.
is all a psych test.
She's like, I don't think that's
general
something,
heroics.
she's like, I don't think that's something Tim would do. I mean, Principal Rowland would do.
Heroic sports citizenship.
All right. Because, I really don't want to have to be put in a situation of, oh, everybody tied. You've got to have a fight about it. I just don't want that.
She's like, I'm sure in your training, mind games will come up at some point. Probably not for the soft. Probably not for the freshmen, though. That seems a little more advanced.
We totally won, guys.
Oh, I mean, we aced these last two.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yes, you did quite well. The first one you did pretty good on. Those last two, yes, that was excellent. The eggs gave you a little bit of trouble. That was really the only one I think you struggled on. She goes, of course, I don't know how well the other teams are doing.
Can we go and watch? Can we spy them?
I mean, they're done.
Oh, that's true.
Well, the first wave.
If they're not, that'll be a good sign about our chances.
The first wave, but there's multiple.
Yeah, but in freshman class, there'd only be one more group to go. Because there are 20 students, 4 things happening simultaneously. That means there's only one group that didn't go the same time we did.
Fair enough. Though some of them might have taken longer or shorter than you, so it's up in the air. But she sends you back to the back to the locker rooms. You change back into your normal clothes because the regular school uniforms will not be given out yet. You're basically told those will be waiting for you in your dorms. She then tells you you're free to wander the campus for an hour or so. Get a lay of the land. There's maps down here showing the underground, but she said you can go up to the surface or whatever. tells you, lunch is in an hour, so, basically you've got an hour to roam around and then meet at the cafeteria.
Hey, girl, how did you get in there?
Where she is sure the lunch lady has, prepared something special. She's very health oriented.
Chock full of steroids and hormones. Super soldier serum.
She's like, oh no. Lunch lady Hestia is she got a very long history of worrying about nutrition and the well-being of families.
It's Atlantean week. All seafood.
So, Brigadier kind of like pats. You can hear the metal clacksman kind of patting on his shoulders. Do y'all three want to hang out somewhere?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? I think I actually kind of like you guys.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm basking in the glow of our strong finish. What's the campus grounds like? Is there what kind of facilities do we have here? Is there anything like super cool, like a space room or underwater room, or how exotic are the facilities?
Some of the underground facilities are probably pretty special, but you try exploring those, a lot of those have locked doors. And like I said, Fowler was trying to kind of usher you upstairs. But so you're passing through some hallways, to get outside. So you've got the actual classrooms y'all are being. Y'all don't have your schedules yet, but you can kind of peek through the little slotted window in the door and see pretty typical desks. Lockers line these hallways. You pass one little girl that looks like she's probably at least a couple of years younger than y'all. That as you round the corner, she seems to be talking into her locker. Then she notices you and she shuts the locker. Not like she's embarrassed, just but yeah, she shuts the locker, looks around, or I should say, looks at you. She goes, oh hey, have y'all finished up the obstacle course already?
Yeah, we kind of went in and crushed it.
Yeah, we did pretty good too. I really like the egg thing.
Yeah, that was fun. A lot of fun.
She's like, oh, I'm Kayla.
Hello, Kayla. I'm Siegfried.
Oh, like the Germanic Knight. And she's shaking hand.
Yeah, like the Germanic Knight. Are you by any chance as young as you look?
Yeah, but I've skipped some grades.
Okay.
She goes, I'm a freshman just like you.
Are you a technology super genius or like book super genius?
Yeah, I'm just running the mill smart. It's got nothing to do with my powers, I don't think.
Oh. I'm sorry, I was just kind of hoping to run into like the tech geniuses to help out on, and gestures to the whole metal bits, all this.
Didn't you build that yourself? Lacuna, by the way.
Do what now?
Oh, she asked, didn't you build that by yourself? Oh, and I'm Lacuna, by the way.
Kayla, reach out, she kicks your hand. She's like, I was supposed to give you my superhero name. And she literally puts her hands on her hips. I'm Night Flops.
Night Flop?
Phlox. She's like PHLOX.
Ah,
Oh.
It's a plant that blooms at night. It's also called midnight candy.
Oh yes, I start rattling off like all the knowledge I know about the night phlox.
It's like, yes.
And it's the FLOX.
It's PHLOX.
PHLOX. I know I'm kind of assuming, but what does Thorn know about the night phlox plant?
It smells really nice. It blooms at night. It's a perennial, so if you plant it, it just keeps coming back. It is native to Africa, but South Africa, so not anywhere close to where she's actually from. But being interested in botany, you'd know it.
Yeah, I don't actually note that I have any specialties in botany specifically, but if this is just flavor text to tag my.
And this is a plant. People all over the world plant this.
Yeah.
Or what do they call it? Moon gardens. When you have when you have an area that's specifically stuff that blooms at night.
Mm-hmm. Would I be able to make some kind of guess about her power set based on what I know from that class?
Well, you can make guesses regardless, but she's like, yeah, my great granddad came up with the name. I was a little iffy on it at first, but.
Are you a legacy?
And she gets really quiet for a second. No. I mean, she's like, I'm not the first person in my family to have powers, but yeah. But nobody in the family is a superhero now.
Ah, yes, Thunder Flux, also known as Midnight Candy. Mm-hmm. Which would also be a nice superhero name, I suppose. Midnight Candy.
I could also imagine it as a stripper's name, truthfully.
I would never say such things.
Rigajig, well, to answer Lacuna, yeah, I made it myself. Nightflux, I'm sorry, I'm Rigajig.
Neat. What
Getting used to the whole superhero name.
She goes, neat. What is it? I mean, I saw you jump with it.
It builds up kinetic energy over time to use in different ways.
Oh.
Mostly just transferring it to, a punch or a jump or.
So if somebody grabbed you and shook you, you get more powerful.
Well, the suit's designed specifically to build up when I take a step or push off of things.
Oh, okay.
There are specific spots that kind of the springs build the pressure to. It's very, very mechanical in nature.
Oh, so you're like steampunk. Okay. I mean, I don't see any steam, but
Yeah, let's go with that.
She goes, neat. Well, it's nice meeting you all, but I need to go catch up with my team.
Oh, yeah. Before she heads off, I think Vandalay will introduce herself as, as the Blessed Thorn. Let's see, what would her proper epithet be? Mistress of the Greenlands, and she'll actually extend her arm out as if Night Fox would kiss it, and as a kind of basically she's presenting herself as a plant god, and she's kind of making the assumption that someone who calls herself Night Fox would respond with the appropriate reverence. Now, how she does respond is up to her, of course, but I think that's what my character's reaction would be.
She reaches out. Kayla reaches out like she's just going to shake your hand, and then it's kind of like notices the thorns. It's kind of like I can't. I don't think I can get it in. I can get in there to.
Okay, she Bandily does look kind of confused by that, and then she says, "Oh, well." Then she starts to think that maybe she just took the name and isn't actually a being of empowered by the plant world. So she'll just make a note and remember to like keep an eye on her because she is kind of curious about what her deal is.
But anyway,
Yeah,
she
she's
says her
breaking
goodbye.
off.
She heads kind of the opposite way. Y'all, she goes through the door y'all just came through. But y'all head for the exit. You walk down. You turn the corner, and you see two people. One guy has a device that he's sticking it on the locker, and you can hear like the locker combination thing. The dial spinning quickly, and then he opens the locker, and then he steps back and does it to the next one. A blonde girl is coming up behind him, and she's putting flyers. Looks like she's putting flyers in each of the lockers and then shutting the lockers. They are not in school uniforms. They are not in normal clothing. Both of them are in some sort of costume. It's a white blonde girl. It's a black dude. They look like they're about y'all's age. I mean,
Hey, are you supposed to be doing that?
what, breaking into people's lockers? Probably not, but we're not taking anything. We're really just leaving stuff.
Pretty sure that's still wrong.
Could you not just slip those folders through? They have like slots in locker doors without.
Yeah, but that creases the paper.
Then maybe get like a card?
Or stick them on the outside?
You stick them on the outside, they fall off. It trashes up the hallway.
Oh, get some tape. Like multiple pieces of tape. Like 2, 3 pieces.
That just looks sloppy, though. I mean, I don't think we're doing any harm, like we're doing.
I got those too.
Let me see here. But the guy walks up to you. Let's see, do y'all have minis attached to your character sheets? I should have checked this before we started. Well, it looks like some of y'all have got placeholder art anyway.
I meant to tell you that you can go ahead and do a mock-up whenever you feel like it. Then I forgot.
Yeah, I'll come up with something. I'm not sure how I'm going to do rig-a-jig, but yeah.
I mean, COH has plenty of weird armor pieces you can just slap on stuff.
Well, no, that's true.
They have nice costumes. Wherever these two are.
Yeah, there's a game called Save the Day that the company that does it has also done a bunch of like standee, print out cardboard standees. They've done a mass of superheroes. The art style fits in pretty well with icons.
Yeah.
So I've made tokens out of a few of those. So if you like them, drive through RPG, Save the Day, I'll take you to them. I bought
Thank you.
I think I bought $15 or $20 worth of them yesterday. Oh, those are neat. I'm getting ready to start an Icons game with my IRL group. I might actually print some of these out.
Oops.
Oh, I guess they would be over here next to the lockers, not the. But they seem to be finishing up. He goes, well, I don't know if we got your locker or not, but he walks up and hands y'all one of the flyers. But here you go.
Is this for a cult?
He's like, no, nothing like that.
Rig-a-jig
I'm Hannibal, by the way. Like the general, not like the serial killer.
Rig-a-jig has the flyer and turns it to someone else. Please read this in case it's magic.
He looks offended, but you see that he's got a very techie looking utility belt on. I assure you, I am not magical. She might be. I don't know how her powers work, but yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that I've offended you, I'd ask for your help.
Oh, don't say you're not magical. Some people I found are magically delicious.
Lacuna might consider them magically delicious.
I wish that was me.
She doesn't
Hannibal
say that out
looks
loud.
at you like he knows you're making some kind of joke or reference, and he's not quite getting it. Well, it was nice meeting y'all anyway. And him and his buddy start to walk off. Is anybody reading the flyer Riggy Jig is holding up?
Sure.
Sure.
It is basically an advertisement for Headmaster Love's Institute of Criminology.
What? Wait a minute.
It very much appears to be a school. It's offering to train people in the most productive and profitable ways to use their powers. It has like an email address and a website. Apparently, they were passing out flyers to a rival institution.
Yeah, our school rivals apparently just raided our turf. We can't just let that go unanswered, can we?
Are we obligated to track them down and kick their asses?
Honor demands it, I declare.
Hannibal looks back over his shoulders and hears y'all talking about kicking their asses. And you see him, he's got like a techie looking gauntlet. You see him. He clicks a button, and suddenly an announcement goes off throughout the school.
Uh-oh.
Announcing that the school is under lockdown. Intruders have been detected. This is not a drill. Please make your way to your designated safe room. Which is like not something that anybody has gone over at all. So you're not the least bit sure where.
Rigajig just takes out his phone and takes pictures of the two of them. I'm not an idiot. I have a normal human intelligence. I take out my phone and I take pictures of them.
Hannibal briefly strikes a pose. The woman, the girl with him, kind of duck faces at you. And then they turn around and take off down the hallway at full speed. As they get to the hallway, they open the doors, outside lights pouring in. You had heard a click as all the doors locked, but he had hit his gauntlet again as they ran to the door. They open the door and step out, and as the doors open, four of these flying drones come in. And they kind of, duck under them. You recognize the drones in some of the from some of the material you've been given before showing up here. As part of the school security. They're not supposed to attack students. They're supposed, but they're supposed to attack intruders, and you just saw them fly past these guys without touching them.
I'm ready to roll initiative.
So just as the door is shutting, you see, the Hannibal kid and he never did introduce his buddy, but she's waving. They both kind of wave at you as the door shut. Let me see here. This is not what the drones look like. I'm just
I was gonna say they're going a little hardcore even for this school.
Yeah, I'm just using some standard robots I already had. They actually look more like your typical drones. Almost like something you'd go buy in a store. Radio controlled, except that they've clearly got weapon mounts on them. But the automated message goes off, and then you hear Roland come over the intercom. Telling everybody not to panic. Just step into the nearest classroom.
Izzy.
And the lockdown procedure go through, and they will. The staff will figure out what is going on and take care of it. He doesn't say anything about it being a malfunction, but it's kind of like he may be thinking it's a malfunction.
No.
With 15 minutes left in the session, you know it.
What's that?
Yeah, do we want to just talk through this, or is this a cliffhanger?
These things aren't that tough, so we'll give it a try anyway.
I mean, if this takes us longer than 15 minutes to beat it, then we have a lot of problems.
Rigajig sets his phone to record.
But yeah, they're flying in like formation at you, so you're pretty sure they're, stuff's about to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their coordination.
Ooh, ouch.
There's 4 of them. All right. So that's a 7 for him. That's a 4 for him. Or I guess I should say them. It's not like they've got genders or anything. All right, Putty, what did you get? Oh, I'm sorry, I had you muted. What was that?
I only got a 5.
Okay. Rigajig.
10.
Lacuna.
8.
And Blessed Thorn.
4.
Yeah, sorry about that, Curtis. I was getting an echo through you for a little bit there, so I was trying to mute when other people were talking.
I'm sorry, it's because of I'm not using the headset, I'm sure.
It's doing it sometimes and not others, but
I'll have a headset next week or next session.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and do that in descending order. All right, so top of the order is Rigajig.
Yeah. So Rigajig just hits record on his phone, sets it down, goes, props it where it can see. 2 intruders came in. 1 clearly able to hack the systems of the school. They sent 4 drones in to stall us as we try to catch them. We are now engaging in school drones, not because we want to. And I'll dive into a spinning attack on the first one.
All right.
Rolled an 8 on it.
All right, so you jump forward and attack green. You rolled an 8 versus their prowess. Their prowess is a 3. All right, so you hit. How much damage did you do?
6 with the spinning, because it's usable as damage.
Okay.
And also able to use it instead of my strength to attack or hold things.
All right. It wobbles in the air. It spins around, but it manages to catch itself. It's struggling though. You snap one of the propellers off, so the other 3 are compensating. But it's clearly took a lot of damage. You can see where some of the casing is cracked. Lacuna.
We're gonna come up and just wail on the drone running from it.
All right, so you go
Red.
after the vampire. Goes after the red one. Okay.
Yeah.
You're becoming more like Marceline every time we describe you.
And that's an 11.
All right, so that you beat it by 4, so that's a massive success.
I do 7 damage.
All right. So that's minus 7. All right, it's just barely still up. And give me a strength roll versus its strength.
Oh, 13.
And so you beat it by 4. That's a massive success. So yeah, you knock it back, all the way back to the door that you just saw Hannibal and crew go out of.
No.
What was the name of the
No.
girl team?
The girl with Hannibal, he never called her by name.
Okay.
So you don't know what the blonde's name was. Alright, then it's one of the drones. Oh, the red drone that just got knocked back. It wobbles and it's coming at you, like a driver that's had a little too much to drink. It's just kind of weaving. But it drops. The things that look weapons, one of them drops down and kind of sparks up like it's got some kind of, baton taser hooked under its body. And it flies up and tries to taser you. So it's prowess. So give me a prowess roll. You need to beat a 7.
Yeah, it beat me.
Alright, so... you take 5 points of damage.
Ooh!
Yeah, they pack a punch. The rest of you see Lacuna kind of go... Then it
I'll
is Putty's
start
turn.
to see if I can get the other 3 to attack me.
Well, it's your go, Putty. What are you doing?
I will go after the blue one, and I'm also, like I said, going to make a lot of noise to make myself a target.
All right.
Come at me, bro.
So you run for it, and you can duck between. I'm going to let you duck between these because they're not human size. They're they're drones floating in the air, so you could even duck under them. Now, are you attacking, or are you taking your action to taunt, so maybe they'll come after you?
I was going to attack, but I think I'll taunt because that's going to be a better attack.
All right. Give me a willpower.
Will is 6.
They rolled max, but they don't have a willpower score, so they only get the die roll. So you still beat it by 2. So I'm picturing you running through and kind of, tapping them on the bottom, yelling at them, generally just getting their attention. And when you get to the other side, you see, well, I guess I should roll them each individually, shouldn't I? Oh, but it doesn't matter because they can roll max and not beat that roll. So you see all 3 of them, not the red one that's already engaged, but all 3 of the rest of them spin around to face you.
Let him.
The blue one immediately tases you. With the prowess of 3. So you can roll a dodge, or you can roll your reflection if you don't want to dodge.
Yeah, I'm going to roll my reflection. I'm going to take the hit.
Or I should say evade. But all right, roll your reflection then. 4 is the number to beat.
Rolled. I don't know what I can't see what I got.
No, it did not come up on roll 20.
I got a 4 plus 5. I got a 9.
Okay, so it came up as a 9 over there.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason it's not updating over here. But yeah, you handily beat it. Massive success. So it takes Zach, how much damage did I say you took?
5.
5. Okay. So I did tell you right. All right. I looked over there and saw 5. And I thought, did I tell Zach 6? But no. Okay. All right. So that drone takes 5 points. So you see some smoke come out of part of it. You know, like it may have burned out some of his electronics. Blessed Thorn.
Can I use my telekinesis to try to grab the the taser baton of one of these drones? Now, here's the thing. It's the way telekinesis is worded. I basically get to use willpower in lieu of coordination, but grabbing is a prowess attack. So,
but you're kind of doing it at range, so I'll still let you use it like it was a coordination.
okay.
You'll be
So,
opposing the drone's strength.
Okay, so it looks like for grabbing, I use the lower of prowess or strength. So I'm going to assume that's strength, since my willpower is 6 and my telekinesis level is 4.
Yeah, you'd use the 4 then for the telekinesis, because your telekinesis is your strength in this kind of instance.
Okay, I'm going to try to grab a batons.
All right, let's see. And it will use its strength. All right, so you're doing a grab. All right, grabbing. You beat it by 2. It's a moderate success.
Okay, so I grab the object.
You grab the object, but it suffers damage equal to the combined strength of you and your opponent.
Okay.
So
well,
they got a strength of 4. You got a strength of 4. So yeah, y'all snap the baton in half, wrestling over it.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that still counts as a success for your side. All right, and then the
Now it has
last
to
2
pull off
drones.
a death ray.
What was that?
So now it has to pull off a death ray.
Well, I didn't want to microwave you, but that's all I got left.
I mean, it's quick to make a new character.
Well, you know, it's a drone. They love running into things. Now it's just going to pile drive you.
Oh.
Okay, but all right. Yellow goes and it attacks Putty. So beat a 7 on your reflection.
I got a 9.
All right, so it takes 5 damage. Oh, that's probably what I did. I probably did an extra point of damage to one of the drones. What had me thinking I misspoken to. Well, yeah, that drone should be at a 3, not at a 2. Okay. Or no, that's the one Rigajig hit. So I don't know. All right, so that one took damage. Then next is the green one, which is the one Rigajig hit. But Putty still managed to draw its attention. So it comes at you, you know, clearly already damaged. It attacks. Need to beat a 9 if you want to reflect back in.
I keep rolling a 4. I got another 9. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just I'm surprised I keep getting the same number.
But I also got the same number this time, so we both got 9s. All right, so with reflection, what happens with a marginal success?
I don't think it takes damage.
Reflection, moderate. Both you and the attacker are affected equally by half of the attack.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you partially reflected. So that's
So
5 points. So effectively, you're both taking 2, which is all this one had left. So it goes down. Oh man, that would be a much better time.
Teddy learns that there are limits to his reflection power.
Yep. The dice rolls limit everything. Oh, there's what I'm looking for. So yeah, it sparks. There's a bunch of smoke. There's a little bit of flame, and then it just drops to the ground, and it's just kind of smoldering. Back to the top of the order with Rigajig.
So, have any of these done what would be considered a lethal attack? Or a potentially lethal attack?
No, you don't think so.
Alright, then I'll just keep on a swinging.
I mean, it just looks like those things are just tasers.
Alright.
So you going
And
after
yeah,
red, blue, or yellow?
I'll get in position where I can hit red and yellow.
Okay, can you hit multiple targets? Oh, that's right. You've got yeah.
I do have a fast attack,
Yeah, you got fast attack.
which at its level only gives me 1, but... Alright. First swing will be a red.
All right. And their coordination, oh no, their prowess rather is a 3. I think your 11 probably beats their 5. Probably quite handily. So it goes down in flames.
And then I will fast attack to the other one.
All right. Number to beat is a 6.
Got a 7. Hit it for 6.
All right, you hit it for 6 points of damage. All right, so you've taken out 2 of them. I mean, they were 2 that were already banged up, but yes.
I do like to say, like, Rigajig is badass.
Mhm.
Well, you know, one of them had like 1 left. One of them had like 2 or 3. Because all of y'all have been hurting them.
I've done 18 points of damage in this fight.
Lacuna.
Lacuna is going to step around the flaming wreckage and wail on the blue one, just hissing and spitting in anger.
Fangs out. That's it. She's pissed. Floppy hat goes to the ground. Fangs come out. There she goes. And you do how much damage?
7 at max, so 3 for minor success.
No, the marginal success is if you tie. 1 or 2 is a moderate, so you do full damage.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, either way was going to be enough to take it down, but Oops, I did something wrong there. All right. All right, now. I'm supposed to be cutting and pasting my little fires. But it's not wanting to put a 4th fire down. I don't know what's going on. Huh, it literally will not put a 4th fire down for me. I don't know. Oh well. We'll just make it a really big fire in the middle of a school. What could go wrong with that? But no, you see a little flame, like a cigarette lighter amount, and it smolders a bit, and then it goes out. Just kind of stinks up the place.
Yeah, oh my god.
Rigajig would like to go to his phone and check to see if that video recorded.
Oh yeah, it recorded fine. It's not the best angle, but you can kind of tell what's going on.
Rigajig immediately takes the battery out of his phone.
Most phones don't let you take the batteries out anymore. You could power it down.
Rigajig owns a phone that he can take the battery out of. Because that's Rigajig's thing.
I'm going to resist the urge to Google to see if that's actually still available anymore. And just say, okay, you've got a flip phone or something that'll let you do it.
Rigajig will own an old phone. Because Rigajig needs the ability for hackers to not be able to access his phone. Because it cannot be accessed. He doesn't want it in a standby mode where it can be hacked into. He wants it killable.
Fair enough, fair enough. And if you can build a leaping and spinning exoskeleton, you could probably fiddle with your phone enough to pop the battery out.
Because I want it to be completely okay when I get it to the dean or headmaster, and then just put the battery in, show them the picture and video, and be like, "We good? Sorry about the damages."
Stop that.
So we were all kick ass.
That was apparently the principal's response. Stop that. There's some loud rattling at the doors behind you. Finally, one of them opens, and you see Vice Principal Rook come stomping in. She looks at you. She looks at the burning wreckage of the drones. What in the heck just happened here? Like she catches herself, realizing, oh, I'm talking to, I'm a school, principal talking to the students, probably.
We found your intruders, but they sicked the drones on us.
Raging puts the battery back in his phone and flips to the pictures.
Rook's like,
These two.
Of course you recorded it. Good work, actually. And yeah, she watches it. I don't recognize those two. He shouldn't have been able to hack the...
Then I hand her the flyer. They were putting these in all the lockers.
I was looking at this other guy.
Institute of Criminality.
Markers while I wrote.
At what point did you start recording? I'm trying to remember. Did you do that right before the fight, or did you do that before they handed you the flyer?
That was after the flyer.
After the flyer, when I was like, wait a minute, I took out my phone to take pictures of them.
That's right. You were doing that as they were leaving. Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, but it was the flyer that was talking about the most
Leave alone.
not proficient, most
Profitable.
Yeah, it was profitable in something else.
I think efficient.
Yeah, efficient and profitable manner of using powers. So she reads over that and she mumbles that part aloud. That doesn't bode well. And then she looks down the hallway. Were they hanging these up, or? Oh no, the video would have had them breaking in the lockers.
In the lockers. All right, let's all go to the principal's office.
No. First day.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. First day. We're already going to the principal's office.
So, 5 minutes later, the school lockdown is over. They wind up announcing to the students that somebody hacked the system. They play it off like maybe it was just somebody pranking. Yeah, they hacked the system and triggered the alarm, and had a couple of drones trying to taser some students. Yeah, nothing life or death. So yeah, y'all are sitting in the fairly comfortable chairs outside the principal's office. One of the secretaries just looks at you, just come in. First day?
We're hardcore.
Rook still has your phone, Rig-a-jig. So y'all sit here. I'm sure Principal Roland will want to speak to you once I'm done talking to her. And then she knocks on the office door and goes in. Doesn't wait for him to say come in. She just knocks on the door and then opens it and goes in.
Rig-a-jig sits back in his chair, goes, 1,000 at port, baby. 1,000 at port.
Lacuna's just gonna grab her hat, sit as far away from the others as she can, and just sort of rock back and forth, just breathing in and out of mouth, just holding her hat over her face.
the secretary's like, honey, are you okay?
I'm fine. Just trying to keep my murderous instincts under control. Cool.
Kids are so dramatic these days. And y'all sit out there for about 10 minutes, and then, get called, you see principal rolling up his door, calls y'all in. He asks you what happened. Y'all go,
Is he?
he lets y'all explain what happened in your own words. Of course, he's seen the video. He tells you, don't worry about, the damage done to the drones or any of that. He compliments you on the, minimal amount of damage done. You only damaged the actual drones that were attacking you. You didn't bust out no windows or break a locker or tear down a door, which is, impressive considering two of you for sure had super strength. So. He asks you if you recognize these two the intruders, these students from another school apparently.
We only got the name of one of them, Mr. Hannibal. After the general, not the psychopath.
Well, that's good at least. I mean,
that doesn't mean he's not a psychopath.
That's
Just
true.
means he's named after someone who's not.
Tim goes, that's true. That's I've only met a couple of psychopaths that would tell you they were psychopaths.
Those are the worst ones.
And I mean, like,
Ricky
I'm pretty
Jig
sure
says
the
that
Romans
y'all see Rook just nod along, sage like, yep, those are the worst ones.
Presumably, though, they go to this Institute of Criminology, or were paid by.
Yeah, there's a couple ways you could take that name.
Hey, what do you know? Supervillains are upping the arms race the same we are. Miss Rook, can I have my phone back?
Oh yeah, she hands it to you. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Principal Roland mentions to you that we made a copy of the video, so you don't have to keep it on there if you don't want to.
Well, you two have full faith in it, so I'm going to delete it so it cannot be spread from me. And I delete it in front of them, along with the two pictures.
Both of them look, they look at each other, they kind of give you a nod. Yeah. Control the information.
1,000 at port.
Rook looks a little confused when you say that. Tim smiles like he's heard that saying before. Or, excuse me, Principal Roland. Y'all are not on a first name basis with him. So, where's that go? Oh, right. So, you have that little debriefing. Roland then tells you, Miss Fowler should be waiting for you in the cafeteria. Technically lunch period is over, but he's pretty sure Hestia will have something in there for you. He notified her that you'd be coming by late because something happened. So you swing by there. The lunch staff they're cleaning up some, but they've still got food out for you. You see the woman that must be Hestia, and she's got the hairnet on like everybody, but where everybody else has got what you'd think of as a typical kind of lunchroom lady outfit or uniform. All of them with all the uniforms are brand spanking new. Hestia's in a toga.
What?
She's in the old school like Roman sandals and toga thing, or Greek, I should say.
Well,
And she's got a certain don't know if I have to say motherliness to her. That's not quite the right word. Matron look to her.
Matron.
Not that she looks old or anything. I mean, she could be, mid-20s to early 30s. Definitely not aged even to your eyes. But like I said, I mean, she looks Greek. She looks ancient Greek, except for the modern, hairnet. And the little name tag, all of them have little name tags, and hers says Hestia. As you step in, she comes up. Oh, children, I hear y'all had a bit of excitement. We kept some food out for you. We've got vegan pizza. We've got we've got hamburgers. There's an option of they've got a vegan menu. They've got a kosher menu if that's a thing y'all are concerned about. Lacuna, you feel uncomfortable when she gets close to you. Pretty much the same as like when you get close to Blessed Thorn. But now there's two of them doubling up on you.
I'm gonna take several steps back from whole shebang.
Don't be shy. Come on and eat.
I have a special diet. You should have gotten some pouches.
Oh. Yes, we've got those. I'll throw one in the microwave for you.
Thanks.
Do you want a straw, or do you just kind of handle that yourself?
I'd like a straw.
Right. So she brings it out to you, looking like a bright red Capri Sun.
Yay.
No.
The food's not bad at all. Better than whatever the last school was any of you have been to. And there's vegetables for the sides, and Hestia watches you eat and is insistent that you finish your vegetables. You don't have to clean your plates, but you're gonna finish the vegetables.
Do we have to eat the vegetables?
She's like, yes. Balanced nutrition is very important to both good health and learning.
Rikajik just puts a hand on what. As a friend, I'm gonna have to tell you. You need to sass talk the people that make vampires scared a little bit less. Now sit down and eat your vegetables.
So y'all quickly eat lunch, and then get Fowler hustles you back to the assembly hall. The chairs have been rearranged slightly. They've been broken out in groups of 4. So basically, each team has an assigned spot now.
Yeah, I thought.
Well, I say groups of 4. There's 5 chairs because you've got your team teacher. Basically your homeroom teachers. It's essentially how they're working. And Roland goes over, he goes over once again what happened. Somebody broke in. They handed out these flyers. He suggests the students, just throw if there's one of these in your locker, just throw it away. By all means, check your locker and make sure nothing's missing. Though he said thus far it doesn't seem like they stole anything. Though they hacked our system. Dr. Weiss has already found the back door they used to get in. He's plugged that leak, so this should not happen again. You can hear the quotes, "should not happen again." This is the sort of thing you will deal with in this life, so buckle up, buttercups. But basically, he tells you, each teacher in charge of one of your teams will give you their room number. Beginning tomorrow, you'll be meeting there. It's essentially going to be your homeroom. And when you arrive, they will give you your schedule. Tomorrow will be the first regular school day. And excitement of today aside, he's sure you will all have a very exciting year. At home, while you're in homeroom tomorrow, they will announce the times and who won the obstacle course. He said some of the teams did quite well. Some of the teams have a little work to do. One of the teams is going to have my personal help in getting better.
Oh no!
Works to be done.
Yeah, and he is overly melodramatic when he says that. And you see a couple of teams squirming in their seats like they didn't do very well. And that is where we'll wrap up with him dismissing the class and telling you, or dismissing the assembly, and basically telling you you're free to, retire to your dorms. There's a little rec area that's got like ping pong tables and foosball. A student lounge. That'd be what they'd call it. So that is your first day at Bruce Carter III Academy.
Well, I guess we got into enough trouble. One day.
Whoa,
But it
dear
wasn't really
friend.
any trouble.
We got into zero trouble. We solved trouble. We lessened the trouble.
We were trouble listeners. No.
But you met people. All right, so this was our first session of Icons Academy. Tune in going forward for anybody listening at home or watching at home or listening later. Should have another 9 sessions of this, and we'll see what more trouble our little crew can get into. Have to come up with a team name fairly quickly, so just so I have something to call y'all. Next week you'll be meeting more of your fellow students, including the one that didn't make it in today. That'll be 2 weeks from now. So, I was GM for the day, Jason, which I don't think I gave my name at the beginning, but luckily it's on the screen. So. And again, we had Curtis playing Putty, Mike playing Blessed Thorn, Taylor playing Rigajig, and Zach playing Lacuna Lane.
Existence is agony, but today was fun.
But today was slightly less agonizing than usual. But today I had a distraction, so I didn't focus on my agony. Oh yeah, she's going to be a little ball of joy, I can tell. But anyway, we will see y'all next session, or next issue. Bye-bye.